Hey everyone, welcome to the demo for how to use Sublime's sftp plugin to do remote development for eecs281. I'm assuming that you already followed the instructions to install Sublime Text as well as install the sftp plugin. If you haven't yet, the directions for this can be found on ctools, under discussion resources, under supplementary. With that said, if you have all these things installed, what you can do is first go to the very top of your screen, project, and you want to add folder to project right here. You want to add the folder that you want to do the folder that you want to put your eecs281 folder files into on your local computer. So for me, this is this folder called eecs281 and documents. So I'm going to say select folder, and I can see the folder on the left hand side on the sidebar. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click the folder. You can do it. My folder already has stuff in it, but you can do this if your folder is empty. Right click Sublime. Right click that folder, and then if you have sftp installed, you'll see this option over here, sftp, and then follow it. You can go to map to remote. So click on that, and what it will do is you see it just created a file called sft-config.json. This is the file that, if it exists in this folder, tells the sftp plugin that this folder is supposed to be mapped to a remote folder. So there's a couple of things we have to do to set this up. First thing is we want to change the host here. It uses example.com. That's obviously not what we want. For us, this is going to, for Kane, this is login-course.engine.umich.edu. So this is the server, the Kane server, and you also want to put your username, you want to put your unique name. For me, that's LAIAN. So this is all for now. We're done with this file. I'm going to go switch over to Putty. Putty is just a SSH program. Basically, I'm accessing the Kane servers remotely. If you guys want to do remote development, you also have to have Putty or any sort of secure shell. For Macs, you just open up a terminal, type SSH login-course@engine.umich.edu. But once you're in Putty, usually as soon as you log in, you land yourself in this directory, and here you have to make a folder on your Kane server that you want to match the folder that you want to be synced up with a folder that's locally on your computer. So in this case, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it make directory demo_sublime, and I'm going to go into that folder. I'm going to find out what the directory is, and so you can do that with pwd, and you can see this string right here is the directory that we want to follow. So copy and paste that back into your sftp-config.json. Under remote path, right here, this part, you want to change that with that folder's path. And here, we're almost all done. The last thing we're going to do is I'm going to change upload on save to be true. I find this to be helpful. What this means is that whenever I save a file inside this folder, it will automatically upload that file to the remote server. Assuming that every single thing has been set up correctly, what will happen now is if I save any file inside of this eecs281 folder on my desktop, it will tunnel this file over to the Kane servers, and you can see a copy of that there. If I go going back to the Kane server, I can look at what's inside of this folder. Right now there's nothing inside, but while in my current folder there is stuff inside. So remember I set upload on save to be true. So if I save this file, it will automatically, I just did Control S, which is to save the file in Sublime. Now that I save this file, it's prompting me for my password, so I'm going to type that in. And it's currently talking to the server, telling it that it wants to upload this folder, this folder and this file. There's success. So if I go back into the Kane servers and look at what's inside the folder now, you can see that D1 right here now exists on the Kane servers, whereas beforehand it didn't. If I go into D1, you can see that the file demo.cpp actually has been uploaded to the Kane servers. This means that I can now compile this file inside of the Kane servers. And so you can imagine if you're doing eecs281, now what this lets you do is you can type in Sublime on your local computer. It doesn't require any internet access. You can do it even with no internet. And then when you want to compile and test it, you just save it. It will tunnel the files over to the Kane servers, and then you can compile and test here. So I'm going to compile it here, and it compiled fine. It runs fine. Now you have an ability to work with the Kane servers and the version of G++ that's on the Kane servers while still doing development locally. If I do a change in this, so let's say I'm going to change this test comment up here to say this, I changed something. Save it, because upload and save is true. You'll see that it just tried to tunnel this folder, a new version of the file over to the servers. Okay, now look inside demo.cpp, and you'll see that this comment, I changed something, is now reflected inside of the version of the file that exists on my local computer. So that's it. If you guys have any questions about how to use it, please post on Piazza or Piazza, and we'll answer any questions you have. This is not meant to be a full explanation of how sftp or tutorial works. It's just meant to be a get started demo. You can see how it's very handy. Basically, you have a file, you have an entire folder that whenever you save something in it, it will send the files over the Kane servers, and you can see the changes in real time. All right, thank you for watching.